Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug. And certainly, wherever you are tuning in from around the world, I want to welcome you to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. We've got a fantastic show ready for you today. We're going to look at the charts in a little bit. We're also going to answer the question, who is Satoshi Nakamoto? After the documentary aired yesterday, certainly shocked a lot of people and certainly wasn't the person that everybody thought they were going to say. They thought it was going to be somebody different. And so we're going to jump into a little bit of that. Also, we have some bullish indicators for Bitcoin. We have a little bit of a potential breakout to the upside, but then let's temper that by we have some FOMC meeting is coming. The FOMC data for CPI is coming out today at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that could bring great volatility to the markets. We could see, obviously, if it comes in hotter, inflation comes in higher, we could see a drop. In the Bitcoin, this would be a great opportunity to buy the dip. And then obviously, if we see it come in a lot cooler, as it did last month, we could see some good upside there. And I think there's some FOMC minutes that might be coming in as well that could also add to the party of the volatility party that is, of course. Okay, so we are going to jump into, before we jump into the news, I almost forgot. For those of you who know and have been regulars of the show, smash that like button. This helps get this content out to more people and does help support the channel. And I really appreciate all the comments as well, the kind words and encouraging words that come in. Thank you for those. And of course, the questions that come in, I do look to get back to those as soon as I am able to. So please be patient on those questions. The cheat sheet below is linked in the description. So please check that out. Link below in the description. That has all my entries and exits. Obviously, a bag should be packed, ready to go. We might get one more buy the dip opportunity upcoming. Certainly October 8th and 11th in 2016 and 2020 were the days where Bitcoin took off and did not. That was the last opportunity to buy the dips, and we're on October 10th. So if history repeats by October 12th, we could be out of here. We could be out of here today if that data comes in. So I am going to be ready and waiting and prepared to trade that number that comes in, that volatility that may happen there. If there is a drop, I will be looking to load up. I have my buy orders set for that, and certainly that could be some interesting there. Also, we have a hurricane here on the way, so I am going to attempt to do a stream tonight, just in case I lose power for Thursday, which I'll have posted for Thursday morning. So if I lose power tonight, if the hurricane comes a little bit early and the power goes out, then certainly there's no power at all, then there'll be no show. And so you'll look for me at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If there is no show, that means that I lost power tonight, Wednesday night, and still there was no power Thursday morning, okay? If you see a show that talks about me being, hey, this is Wednesday night, it means I don't have any power Thursday morning. And of course, if you see a show from me and I'm saying, hey, here I am on Thursday, I still have power, we're still streaming, obviously you know. So you're going to get some clues from the streaming and the timing of the streaming, or if I don't stream there. And certainly we pray for everybody out there. We pray that the Hurricane Milton will change direction, lessen its severity, and there will be a lot of lives that will be saved and be okay, and people will stay safe out there. Okay, so let's jump into the news. And and I was going to say actually that uptrends, when October has been an uptrend, sometimes things have happened a little later in the month. Those have generally been when the bull market has been in full flight. So certainly we could see it happen a little bit later. The lows are generally in the first 7 to 10 days. And certainly we trends when there's been October as a month as a whole, when October has been in an uptrend. And I'm not certain that October is really an uptrend right now. Certainly September finished in a flourish there, so we could certainly see it happen a little bit later. History doesn't always repeat, but it sometimes rhymes, so let's see what happens. I just think, generally speaking, I think it would be funny to imagine if the market makers sent us in November or early November or something like that. But we have seen, dumps at the beginning of each month and then pumps at the end of each month, I believe all the way back to June as well. Certainly July, dump early, and then there was a massive pump and take profit at the end of July, dump at the beginning of August, pump right up until the end of August, and then dump again in September. And now we're seeing, we haven't seen a huge dump. We've seen a good size pullback, but it hasn't been like a scary, fearful dump. And I'm wondering if that's still to come. We're going to look in the charts and talk about that. Okay, so let's talk about, this is Peter Todd. Who is Peter Todd? HBO just revealed him as Satoshi Nakamoto. Here's what HBO got wrong and why it matters for your Bitcoin. I agree with this. This is not, I don't believe this to be Satoshi Nakamoto. I believe the other guy that we showed the other day, I can't remember that guy's name. The other guy that we showed the other day, I believe that he was the more likely person. He was the more likely person to be Satoshi Nakamoto, not this guy. And it does go down, and you can certainly go through why they have debunked that this guy was not Satoshi Nakamoto. The Len Sassaman is who they thought HBO were going to reveal as the real Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, I'm not saying that Len Sassaman was the guy or was Satoshi Nakamoto, who's now passed away in 2011. But with all those wallets haven't moved and the Satoshi's been silent all this time, it does lean more towards that Len Sassaman possibly could have been the real Satoshi Nakamoto. Of course, we'll never know at this point whether he was or wasn't because he's passed away. But certainly Peter Todd seems to be less likely, and I don't think that this is. I think this is just really speculation, viewers or whatever, getting to get the views and sensationalism. But I think you can look through it here from Picks on Chain. I'm sure there are plenty of other people. I haven't really seen any articles agreeing with that this would be the case. Whereas there was quite a few articles going, well, yeah, Len Sassaman, this might be true, and this could have been the guy. So certainly, I did share about Len Sassaman a little bit ago, and so you can certainly check that out. And in fact, from just a few days ago, I did share this article, actually. This is who they thought they were going to say. And there's you look on Picks on Chain. So you could go to this Twitter user and have a look at the Len Sassaman and go through and see why possibly this could have been the guy, and why it actually makes, in my opinion, a little bit more sense that this guy actually could have been the real Satoshi Nakamoto, and there's a good deep dive into it there, rather than the guy that HBO has brought up, which is Peter Todd. And so I don't think it's answered any questions. I think it maybe created more questions than answers there on the real identity of Satoshi Nakamoto. Okay, the cup and handle pattern. This is what we were talking about early, the indicator we've had. Are we starting to break out? The month's candle has started to form an early breakout signal. Certainly, though, with the FOMC CPI data, that could rain a little bit on the parade, or maybe that will add confirmation and will take off and go parabolic. Certainly, I want to know what you think. Is the CPI data going to come in higher, or is it going to come in lower? Higher or lower? This video goes live at around about just before 7 a.m. Eastern time, so there'll be about an hour and a half for you to get your vote in. CPI lower, or is it CPI data? Or maybe your answer is going to be whatever number they want it to be because the data is manipulated. Okay, that could also be your answer as well there for Bitcoin. And certainly there is, if Bitcoin does come down that 60K with looming volatility from the economic data, which is coming in, there could be 2.2 billion in long positions could get wiped out. So there is some cumulative long liquidating leverage. You can see there at 60,061. So there seems to be a strong possibility of a pullback to that 60,000 region, to that 200 EMA on the daily time frame, which again I feel would provide us with another entry for our Bitcoins and for altcoins there. So stay tuned on that. We'll see what shakes out there. Okay, let's have a quick look at the Bitcoin chart here. And certainly we can see it's kind of waiting. I think there's just, we had this rejection at the 200. So really what we're looking for, I think if the CPI data comes in cooler and inflation continues to drop, then a stronger likelihood of more rate cuts are on the cards here. And so this is the level that we want to get above. So in reality, well, 63,000. Now, you wouldn't have taken the trade here because it just went up and there was no successful retest. So if we break out from the 63,600 and we have a successful retest here, that could be a place to get in a trade and ride that up to around $66,000 or $67,000, and that's where I would take some profit off the trade. I wouldn't completely close out of the trade because we could break above here and then start to bang around in here and then take off. Okay, certainly though, take profit here on the trade in case where there's a rejection and we come down, and this could be a good place to swing and to re-enter. Okay, now if we go above here and we come straight back down again, we reject from here, certainly therefore we could be looking down here first of all at 60,900, which is the 50-day moving average, or around there. And then we've got the 200 EMA at 60,101. And with all that leverage down there, you just feel that the market makers are going to want to come and tap that leverage and find a way to get that price down to there. Now, the question is then, where would we go a fair bit lower? Well, it just really depends what the minutes of the FOMC meeting that come out as well, and the data that comes out could push us down, and we could come back into this 57 to 58 region. We got the tribal trades trend line there. Okay, the tribal trades trend line is there, and so we could come back down and tap that down there, maybe just wick a little bit below it as well. The main thing I'm looking for here is to make sure we don't create a lower low here. Now, if we did create a lower low, I don't think it's time for panic stations at all. Certainly the next wick that I would be looking for is this one here. If we did break down below that, and that's sitting at about 55,000 there. And so we could just find about half of that get wicked. So we could see it wick down to 56 and freak a whole lot of people out and go, oh, we just created a lower low. But in really, we just filled half of this wick here, okay? And then we could shoot up again, that as support, bang around in here for a while, and then pop up. Obviously, this area here is a big area of interest. Certainly, this is really, you don't want to see 52,550 broken. That's the low of September. Okay, that is the low of September. So we certainly don't want to see that broken. But I'm not even thinking about that or anything lower than this. I think we should just keep our eyes fixed on this, the upside, the level to break, 63,600, okay, to break and retest, a rejection from there, and then immediately to the downside is 60,850 and 60,000, about 60,100. Those are our levels that we should be keeping an eye on. Obviously, if we're break and a retest, there can be an entry there. So we have an entry here at the 200 simple moving average, 63,600, and that we've got to make sure we get a successful retest. So we've got to see it break above. Now, you can obviously make the trade as it breaks, expecting that it's going to retest, because sometimes it doesn't retest. Sometimes it'll go all the way up here and then come back. Just make sure you have a stop loss and just put your stop loss somewhere under here. Or if you just feel bullish and you feel that you're just going to keep Bitcoin no matter what, and you don't want to be stopped out at all, and this could be a good entry. This could be quite bullish here, and certainly a retest on here where it comes down. It doesn't, my wick under, and then we come up, have a successful retest. It comes back and hits that line. That can be a place to enter the trade, and also here as well. And so certainly there are some good opportunities right in here. Historically, the 200 EMA has been a very good place to buy Bitcoin, either when it's been under or around that line, the 200 EMA historically. Okay, this is not financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? And so the 200 EMA has been a real rock solid here. It hasn't gone, like I said, historically, it doesn't really go that below it that far, and it doesn't stay below it for that long. Okay, and you can see that happened. It's like a magnet just drawing it. It really has been a good bull market support band for Bitcoin. And so generally this has been a great opportunity to buy. Of course, we could see it come down a little bit, but I feel that we do come down to here, successful retest. I'm going to add some buys here. I'll probably add some buys here at 60,000. 8 or 900, and certainly if we come down to this 57, 58, I will be adding some buys in that area as well. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the show today, and of course we have the altcoin show coming up, because this could be the last opportunity. Today could be the day. If we get some FOMC, if that CPI data comes in cooler than expected, then this could be it. This could be the last chance to pick up some altcoins. And if it comes in a little bit hotter, this could be the last chance. This could be the last dip to get. So either way, October 10th, this could be it. This could be the moment that we are waiting for to either quickly pick up some, if it comes in cooler, it might be some time just to jump in there before the price begins to take off. Certainly you can wait for confirmation to see Bitcoin break above the 200 simple moving average and take off before you jump in with your Bitcoin and your altcoin buys. Certainly you can try and front run it and jump in on some good CPI data. Or if we see some bad CPI data and we drop and we tumble down, that could be the last opportunity, could be the final dip there. And certainly we'll wait and see. And I've given you some levels there, and the altcoin show coming up, I'm going to give some levels there as well. So until then, happy trading.